Good afternoon, everybody. Carrie here. Welcome. So we are starting our part 1 of our 5-part series on how to reduce belly fat. So I'm going to give a few seconds here for Facebook to notify everybody that has asked to join. So let's give a second here to make sure everybody can join on to get started. Since I am on my phone, the chat section may or may not show up. So I'm going to try to have it pulled up here as well on Facebook. Hey, Trisha. So I can see if there's comments coming through for me to be able to view it with you and answer questions. So I'll apologize up front if the chat doesn't show on my phone. And then again, I'll be able to hopefully comment here. What's really interesting is being on my phone and looking over at my laptop and seeing myself talking. Hey, Mama. Hey, Kelly. Valerie, nice to see you. Good. Thank you guys for joining. So give a few more seconds. So while we're waiting for people to hop on and while Facebook gets everybody, hey, Leah. Hey, Nicole. So how is everybody doing? You know, we're here on shelter in place, still locked down. Most of us here are mamas and we have children probably at home, homeschooling, while still either trying to run a business or getting that routine and schedule down. And finding out what works. I would love to hear, one, if you can hear me, you know, raise your hand or say yes that you can hear me, fine, and see me okay. And then I would love to hear, how is it going? Thumbs up, everything's going good. Is there any struggles you're doing? Oh, Berkeley's here too. Hi, Berkeley, good join, and good job, Valerie, good mama, bringing your girl along. So I want to open up the discussion, you know, in regards to belly fat. We're here because it's a topic for all us women, right? So yes, belly fat. We have us women mostly, and we tend to get it. Sometimes it could just be predisposed, or it comes to us later in life. Hey, Jody, thanks for joining. Kelly, thanks for confirming. Thank you. Trisha, no, you're not love bug. So we're going to start with talking about why do I have belly fat? What's the culprit here? So today's whole conversation I want to open up is, you know, why do we have belly fat? Why do the ladies tend to get it just right there? Jody says she's just finishing up on a call, so she's multitasking. That's the story of us ladies, us mamas, right? High five. So again, I want to bring up the subject of, you know, why do we have it? What's the culprit? So today it's where we're going to open up, but I'd like to find out from you ladies, you know, did you notice recently that you felt like you had like that mama pooch or that baby pooch? Did it feel like it came on overnight, or have you felt it progress where maybe, you know, 3, 4, 5 years ago, your clothes fit great. Then all of a sudden, maybe it's just getting tighter around the waist. Can anybody relate with that? So share with me in the comments if you can relate, you know. So let's talk about getting that belly fat. What's happening? So there's a few different reasons why when we gain weight or fat, that it goes to our midsections as women. So specifically speaking to women. So one is the type of fat. So Kelly says changing after 40. Yes. So key component, we'll talk to this point first, Kelly, is as we age, our hormones shift, and our hormones are responsible for how our fat is deposited. So hormones do play a role. So Trisha says, over the years after having 3 kids, we'll say. Yes. So again, with children, what happens? Our hormones change. So hormones play a key role in how our fat is deposited on our body. And it typically will go towards that midsection, especially as we age and our estrogen levels drop. Estrogen is one of the key hormones that tell your body where to deposit fat. So the second one is the type of fat. There's 2 types of fat. So share with me below, what do you know about belly fat, body fat? Did you realize there's 2 different types of fat? One being, technical term, subcutaneous fat. So that just means fat under the skin. So if you pinch yourself, or if you're able to poke yourself in the belly, if it's squishy, that's subcutaneous fat. Okay. Hey, Madison, glad you can join, hun. Hey, Laura. So again, the 2 types of fat, you have subcutaneous, which is under the skin. So again, you can test yourself, push on your belly. If it's squishy, then you got subcutaneous fat, which means you just have excess body fat there. Then there's a second type of fat, and this fat is more important to talk about because it can cause detriment to your body. So this is the visceral fat. This is fat you can't touch. Okay, this fat is insulates your vital organs, which are typically in your abdominal cavity, right? Your liver, your intestines, your heart. So your visceral fat is in your abdominal cavity. So you are supposed to have some visceral fat for that insulation of those vital organs. It's when you have too much of it that causes a problem. So the visceral fat is, again, insulation for the organs. Then you have your abdominal wall, and then you have the subcutaneous fat, then you have your skin. So you can't feel it, but you can know if you have it. So we'll talk about that a little bit later in the next part series. What do we have from Leah? Probably a few years ago, I felt poochier and bloated. Post 35 years, felt slimmer post babies, and now I feel like I have to suck it in. Guess my hormones like to pause. Yes. So Leah, yes, like we were talking about, hormones play a big role. Hey Jenny, thanks for joining. Nicole, so squishy. Mine is harder. So Trisha, that if yours is harder, that could pinpoint it being more of a visceral fat. So visceral fat is more, it's more dangerous. It puts you at higher risk. So again, we will talk about that more tomorrow. But I want to just have our minds open up to why the belly fat, and maybe think about, hey Jace, my brother's on here too. Muscle separation, yes, Valerie. So with your hormones playing a role, and you also have the type of belly fat. So either the easier fat to lose, the subcutaneous, the surface fat, or that visceral fat. And then we also have another key component is you could be predisposed to have more belly fat depending on your genetics and also your body type. So having an understanding of the type of body you have, mesomorphic, endomorphic, and ectomorphic. Yes, I know technical terms. You can Google those up. It will show you different frames. So think straight up and down, think the pear shape, and think more big boned or wider. So the three types, and then that will kind of dictate to how your body deposits fat. So mom says, oh, too many cinnamon rolls. Yes, mom, too many cinnamon rolls. So that leads to what? Nutrition. So why belly fat? Yes, you know, and one thing I want to find out from you guys is, you know, what, why do you feel like you aren't losing body fat? Have you tried? So go ahead and put in the comments, like, what have you tried to lose belly fat? Obviously you're here because you want to learn how to. So it sounds like there is some of you potentially that have tried to lose the belly fat, but it hasn't worked. Right? So we're going to be going through a series here to kind of work through of the whys, the whats, and the hows. Lauren, it's nice to have you here. So again, I would love to hear from you guys. What have you tried? You know, or what have you heard about how to lose belly fat, and have you tried it? So going into that, you know, if you are, you know, you notice you got the pooch, right? Lee, you mentioned after a few years, it's like, wait, what happened? And it's harder to lose. So if we know that our hormones play a role in it, the type of fat that we're depositing, and we're paying attention to what we're doing, you know, then we're more aware of and can take actions that are going to help us build a sustainable lifestyle. Leah says, did Whole30 and that was super helpful, and also celery juice. So Leah, do you feel that Whole30, which basically for those of you who don't know Whole30, it's eating basically plant-based and lean protein, no dairy, do you feel, Leah, that that was beneficial as well as a sustainable lifestyle for you? Just curious. Trisha, working out with me. Yes, so Trisha is one of my private clients as well, working together. So yes, physical fitness. Yep. Nicole, watching calories, working out an hour a time, 3 to 5 days a week. So Nicole, now watching the calories and working out for the 60 minutes, 3 to 5 times a day, do you feel like that is sustainable for you? And has it been working for you to drop that body fat and that belly fat that you're wanting? Just curious. Jody, need more sleep. Yes, sleep plays an important role. We'll talk more in depth about that later on in the week in regards to steps to take to help reduce. Diet Bet help push me to watch what I eat. Yes. So Trisha, is that sustainable for you? You know, being able to watch what you eat. Does everybody know how to eat? You know, what's the easiest way for them? It's different for everybody. So whether you count calories, count your macros, track it in an app, put it on paper, the biggest key thing here, like as you can see, there's so many different ways to do it, but it's all the same. It's tracking. So it's finding a way that is, that fits your lifestyle. So what I'm going to talk about, it's not universal. So everything that we're going to talk about here has to fit you and your lifestyle. Yes, Leah says, yes, it was beneficial, but hard to stick to long term. Okay, so one issue it sounds like we have is learning how to be on a health journey that is sustainable long term. So that takes some thinking, that takes some trial and error, like Leah, you've tried. You know, what is it able to do and make tweaks to that you can sustain? Does that mean you have to eat 100% plant-based, 100% vegan, or all the time? Is that sustainable? Most likely it's not, and that's why you're here, because again, you stuck with it for a little bit and then you fell off the wagon, right? Nicole, yes, it keeps things in check, but I want to drop more. The quarantine 19 isn't helping. Yes, how many people have been baking and eating more? Raise your hands. I would love to know. Hey, Brooke, thanks for joining. Kelly says, eat better, more calories, seeing better results with Whole30. Yes. So, right, if you, again, it comes down to your body awareness, understanding where you need to be in order to get where you want to be. So if you know where you're at, you can make a game plan to get where you want to be. Again, now, how many of us who've maybe gained some weight, how long has it taken? You know, it may be a slow accumulation, which again, if you eat an extra 100 calories over what you need a day, you're going to gain some weight every month, right? Trisha, me. Okay. Jody says, I have been eating less during this. That's great, Jody. Now, do you feel that what you're doing is working for you? You know, are you seeing the results that you're wanting by keeping your calorie intake in check? Nicole says, yes, more baking, eating more, but not too much, just a dramatic drop in activity. Yes, so that's a change too. So understanding if we are more sedentary, our energy needs are less, right? So you have to make sure those match up in order to be able to be where we want to be. And because if we eat over what our body needs, we store that, right? That's stored as extra energy or fat. Now, does your body necessarily tap into that fat right away? So there's different things that, again, you can do depending on your body and how your body reacts. So it's a trial and error process. Hey, Nicole, thanks for jumping on. Hey, Stephanie, good to have you guys. So again, this today is going about over, you know, why belly fat, why women? And one, again, the key thing is hormones shifting, having babies, getting in your late 30s, 40s. Again, hormones are shifting, not just estrogen, but we also have, think about stress. Who's been experiencing stress during this time? Hey, Nina, thanks for jumping on. Yes, Stephanie, we are still live, love. So if you have questions, go ahead and post. You guys can also see the questions in the chat. And if you have additional ones, please post. I'm able to see you guys here. So when we are, Jody said, I'm exhausted. I don't have time to eat. So it's a bad cycle. Okay. So Jody, perfect. Look, you just pointed that out. So you became more aware of why. Now you have what you're doing. And now it comes to a game plan of what you need to do to move forward, to have healthier choices, right? This is all a journey, you guys. If you've been following me at all, I don't preach perfection. I'm not perfect. You know, this is a journey. I call it the fit life journey. There's going to be ups and downs, and it's finding something that works specifically for you. So when I am training someone, it's personal training. It's personalized to what their life is like, what their needs are. Same thing here. So within this free training, I want you guys to share your questions, your concerns, your struggles, and that will better help me to provide you personalized service and throughout this training. So let's see, not intentional to restrict food just because of so much going on. Yes, Jody. So again, one key thing I want to have you guys take away here is take a few minutes, think about why you're not dropping the weight and what are you trying to do and why is it not working? So we've had some people mention the sleep, not prepping, stress. So definitely stress plays a role. So what can you do to lower that stress? You know, if you don't make yourselves a priority, nobody else is going to. So if you are someone, again, us women, we're nurturers, usually by nature. And so we put everybody else in front of us. Therefore, we are last. So if we're last, we're teaching everybody else watching us to put us last. So if you put yourself first, other people are going to start putting you first and treating you the way you want to be treated. So if you value your body, then you want to do things that are going to help your body. And again, it's a process. It's not going to happen overnight. Stephanie, boredom. Yes. So boredom. Now, does that mean boredom, Stephanie, in regards to you're eating because you're bored? So that's another key thing. So again, I would highly encourage you guys to write down, you know, what's keeping you from reaching your goals, what's keeping you from not being able to lose that body fat or belly fat that you're wanting to. So having that outline is going to help you go, oh, I'm doing that. But if I try this, So, hey Heidi, thanks for jumping on. So again, just to recap, we're talking about the different types of fat, right? We have the outer fat or the surface fat, the subcutaneous fat where you push in on your belly, it's squishy, okay? And then we also have that visceral fat, which is a more dangerous fat. And you know if you have more of that, if, again, your clothes fit you great except in the belly, okay? So that's gonna be indicated that you have more visceral fat. We're gonna go into more detail tomorrow in regards to, what's this fat doing to you? Not just physically, but psychologically, okay? This is all about mindset, ladies. So we're gonna go in there. Leah says, I think I work out enough to maintain, but not enough to lose extra pounds. Probably need extra push and motivation and this group and your influence. Okay, and Nicole, yes, Leah, yeah. So again, over the years of being in the fitness and health field and the experience I've had with other women in training them and myself personally, thinking I know one thing, and if I just stay there, I'm not going to learn to be able to progress. So I'm always about learning, trying, exploring, and taking the data and from that, and then creating a new plan to be better at what I'm doing. Hey, Joey. So again, you want to, if your homework, because I'm going to give you homework. You didn't think you're going to get homework, did you? I want you to take just a few minutes when this is done, or right now, write down the top 2 to 3 things that you find yourself doing that are not helping you reach your goals. That I want you to write down 2 to 3 things that you can take action on, simple actions to move yourself forward. And I want to talk about those tomorrow. So between now and tomorrow, again, we're going to talk about what this extra belly fat is doing to your body and your mind. You're not going to want to miss this. You want to join in tomorrow. And if you have additional questions, please post them. I'll check back on Facebook a little bit later today. And we're going to talk about what's going to be happening. And we'll be back here at 2 p.m. Thank you, ladies, for joining. And again, if you have additional questions, post them below or feel free to message me. Send me a DM if you want to talk more privately. I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for joining.